Hello and welcome to my show, Indus Cuisine. I'm your chef Basim Akhund. We're back with a new episode from the heart of Pakistan. Today's recipe is very interesting and it has originated from the province of Sindh. The recipe's name in the traditional Sindhi language would be very difficult, so I'll just translate the name for you and I'll tell you it's basically a curry made with lamb meat and desiccated coconut. So we're doing a curry which is very simple and it has a lot of flavor in it. This recipe has originated from the village areas and it is usually cooked at the harvest time when people are taking down coconuts from the trees. You can see in Pakistan that there's a lot of growth in terms of dates, coconuts and mangoes. So this recipe is usually cooked at that time, and whenever mango has its harvest time in Pakistan, then there are recipes in which mango is utilized. So this recipe is very easy, and what do people or farmers do over there? Once they sell the coconut water, they basically dry the coconut fruit which is inside the shell, and then they desiccate it and convert it into this powder form, and then they use it in their food throughout the year. Why? Because once it's dried completely, you can use it. And also the other thing that people use from the coconut is they take out the coconut oil. Coconut is something which is never wasted. Even the skin on the top, which seems like hair, is basically used as cow fodder, or it is also used as an agent which could burn and which is used for even making cardboards in Pakistan. But those cardboards are very low standard, but they are used in packaging. So anything that comes from the coconut is not wasted. It is used A to Z. So what are the ingredients for today? The ingredients are very simple and you can easily find them in any store around you. You need some coconut oil, around 2 to 3 tablespoons, not more. Then you need some normal cooking oil which will go on the side. You need some desiccated coconut. You need some coriander powder. You need fennel seeds. You need black pepper, which should be whole, not powdered. You need some red chili, green chili. You need some salt to taste, garlic and some ginger. You need cinnamon sticks, turmeric powder. You need some cloves, also known as long in our Urdu language. You need some bay leaves, you need some mustard seeds, and that's about it. Apart from that, you will be needing some onions, tomatoes, some mint leaves and half a kg of lamb meat. If you do not want to use lamb meat, you can also use mutton instead of it, and if you do not want to use mutton, you can use beef. But if you know how to cook beef, which will actually take much longer, then you can get some beef also. So this recipe will be made in 2 parts today. The first part will be we will be frying the lamb. This recipe requires frying of the lamb, not cooking it in water. Why? Because that is how we will get the texture of this recipe, and trust me, you will enjoy it. It will be a treat for you. Okay, so what I'll do first is I'll just pick up a very normal type of pan. I'll bring it to heat and I shall just add a little bit of oil first. So what I'll do is I'll add some coconut oil over here, around 1 tablespoon. And then what I'll do is I'll add some normal cooking oil. So now when I say normal cooking oil, means that you can use sunflower oil, you can use soybean oil, or you can use corn oil. These are 3 forms of most commonly used cooking oils in Pakistan or used in Pakistani food when clarified butter, also known as desi ghee in our language, is not used. Okay, once the oil comes to heat, what we'll do, we'll add some lamb, but before that you need to add some things that will flavor the meat. So what I'll do is I'll just pick up a stick of cinnamon, I'll add it to the pan. Then what I'll do is I'll just take a paring knife, cut a little bit of ginger, make slices, and then add it to the pan. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this so that the oil fries with the ginger and you get a nice flavor. I'll take a clove of garlic, I'll put my paring knife over here, I'll pick up my chef knife over here, and I shall just press it down. Pick up the garlic, throw it in the oil, shake it up, and now as you can see it has come to heat. I shall just pick up the lamb and transfer it in the oil. Remember, I shall be frying the oil, I shall not be boiling it, so it shall be added in a way that it gets even heat. And remember one thing, you will not over fry it, and you will always give it a lid so that it is also steamed while it's frying. You will change the size after around 5 minutes, and this meat will be fried for like 5 minutes. I shall rinse my hands and I'll tell you what to do next. So as you can see, now you have to just flatten out the lamb meat so that it gets equal heat. But for that, we shall just mix it up a bit so that when it's coated with oil or hot oil, what will happen is that you will get the perfect texture and it will not stick to each other. Remember one thing, you don't want the meat to stick to each other. It's done over here. I shall just take a little bit of salt and I shall just sprinkle it on top. Okay, so the salt is over here. I'm using finely crushed salt, which is easily available in the markets of Pakistan. If you want to use iodized or pink rock salt, you can also do that. Okay, so I've just salted the meat and I'll just put it on medium heat and give it a lid and let it cook for 5 minutes each side. The heat should be medium, which is now. Keep it on the side. And now what should we do next? We have to make a nice gravy for this recipe, and for that what I'll need is a big frying pan, which then I shall convert into a wok. Why? Because there's a reason behind it. I'll be using around 2 medium onions for now. I'll take the root out, not too deep, but just so much so that the onion doesn't stick to each other. Okay, just cut it into half, place it over here, and finally slice it. So I shall finally slice the onions, cook it until it's brown, and then I'll let you know what to do next. Always remember, if the onions are equally sliced, then only you'll get the perfect texture. Otherwise, the texture won't be perfect. This recipe will get its texture, its color from the brown onions, not from anything else. This is done. The pan has come to heat. What I'll do is I shall just add around 2 tablespoons of oil and not more. Transfer the onions to the pan. I shall use my knife only. As you know, if you use a bigger knife, it's easier to transfer. Why? Because it becomes like a spatula, you could say. Slowly and gradually transfer all the onions. Remember always to keep the knife sharp. Increase the heat to full. Add just around a pinch of salt, not too much. Sprinkle it and give it a lid. The lid goes on top. As you can see, the lamb is cooking properly. Now what I'll do is I'll just pick up a spatula. I'll just turn the meat so that I can fry it on the other side also. Just turn the meat around and let it fry. As you can see that the fat from the lamb is also saturating into the oil I've added, so just keep cooking on low heat and it will be completely fine. Now on the other hand, the onions over here are cooking fairly nicely. Increase the heat, mix it up nicely. And just take a spatula and place a lid on top. You want it to get translucent, which means really soft first, and then you shall cook it till they are brown. On the other hand, now you will be requiring garlic, which should be finely chopped. So I always squish the garlic so that I get a nice texture. Spread it out evenly. Mix it up. And this is done. I'll add the garlic in the onions. And then I'll tell you what to do. Transfer it. Mix it up properly. Now you have to make sure that the onion hits the base of the pan. Reduce the heat to medium. And now pick up the ginger. What you need is you need to slice it evenly and this much is enough. What I'll do is I'll keep the rest on the side. Now make really thin slices. Make it paper thin. And if you see a piece which isn't paper thin, just pick it up and cut it again. There's no harm in doing it again. We're humans, we make errors, and it's part of life. This is done. Transfer it all over here, apart from just the 20% which you shall add into the oil over here. Why? Because I want some more flavor added, and that will give a nice aroma. Give it a lid, mix this up. And now give this a lid. I'll give this a lid, transfer this over here, and transfer this one over here. Now what I'll do is I'll add a little bit of coconut on top, mostly towards the area where there is oil, so that the coconut starts frying. So I'm coating it and giving it a nice coconut flavor by doing this. Place a lid on top again and let this cook for another 5 minutes. Okay, this is done. Last but not the least, what I'll do is I shall just take around 4 green chilies, cut it from the top. As you can see, we're multitasking. We're doing it in 2 different separate pans. Keep this on the side. And now slit the green chilies in half. This is done. Now increase the heat to medium over here, not medium low. Transfer all of this over here, give it a lid, and now let it cook for another 4 minutes. So till the time this is cooking, we'll just go for a short break, and once we're back, I'll let you know what to do. Keep watching Indus Cuisine. Welcome back. You're watching Indus Cuisine. I'm your chef Basim Akhund. During the break, I just let this cook over here, and on the other hand, as you can see, the onions have browned up nicely, and now we shall continue. It's a very windy evening in Islamabad today, and it has been raining, and luckily it just stopped so that we could now shoot for you. I'm just joking. Mother Nature doesn't stop for anyone. It was just by luck it stopped, and we just started recording again. Okay, as you can see, this is done. Now what I'll do is I shall transfer all of this over here. This goes over here, you shut this off, this pan is done, transfer it over here, and now just mix it up. You want all the flavor to mix in well. Be a little careful, because you do not want to burn the desiccated coconut you've added over here. Okay, this is done. Shake it up, reduce the heat to really low. Why? Because I want to bring the temperature down. But before that, what I'll do is I shall just add some spices and cook them. Okay, as you can see, there's oil over here. So what I'll do is I'll add the mustard seeds on this side. I'll just push them in the oil so that they get a fair chance of cooking. And here we have a resident, we have a cat with us. I'm just joking. We just in Pakistan love all the animals, and we really take care of them. And on the other hand, I am an animal lover. I have 2 dogs at home, and you could say if I go for a vacation and if I miss someone dearly, those are my pets. And to a point that I have to video call with them, I have to speak to them, see them, and then only I realize that I'm having a good day. And I think as human beings, it's our duty that we should take care of the other things around us, because we're not the only existing race in this world. There are other animals, there are plants, there are things that breathe. And if you respect the system or the ecosystem around you, then only you shall survive for many, many years to come. Or otherwise, what we will do to this planet Earth, which is also known as Mother Earth, is we should consume it. And anything that is consumed not efficiently, but in a very abrupt way, eventually finishes or dies down, and no one wants our Mother Earth to go away. It just hit me, and I had to share this with you. Why? Because apart from cooking also, we talk about a lot of things on our show, Indus Cuisine. Okay, so now as you can see, everything has been added over here. I will just mix it up. When this comes in complete high heat, we shall add just a little bit of water so that we can cook it up even more. On the other hand, I'll add some red chilies. We shall place the red chilies on the board first. I want them to go dry, so just break them. Pick them up and transfer them in the food. Now what I want is, I just want around a cup of water. And I've added the water only at that point when the ingredients or the pan was super hot. Okay, this is done. Now we shall add just a little bit of cinnamon, that's it. A little bit of black pepper shall go in as whole. Keep this on the side. Whatever you've used goes at the back. And then we shall add around 3 pieces of bay leaves. So whenever you're adding the bay leaf, make sure that you push it inside the water. Okay, so now this is cooking. What I'll do is, I should pick up a lid, place it on top, and let it cook so that everything gets really soft and delicious. Okay, so whatever I've used, I'll take it at the back. You don't need more desiccated coconut, it goes over here. Now you need some salt, some turmeric powder, no need for the cinnamon sticks, but you would require some tomatoes. So I'll take the tomatoes and we shall keep them over here. Okay, this is done. Take the eye of the tomato out, place it over here. And now pick it up and toss it in the bin. Just keep an eye over here, you don't want to overcook anything. Now just take the lid off and make sure the water you've added dries out completely. For that you need to let it cook for another 5 minutes without the lid, and till that time what we'll do is we shall just cut the tomatoes into 4 halves. Now why am I doing this? I'll let you know just in a second. Why? Because I want to add it on the top. This is like this. So now just place the tomatoes in the pan. Push this on the side, pick up some salt, add it on the tomatoes, sprinkle it, and just push it down. This goes on the side. Place a lid on top with the tomatoes for 2 minutes, then take it off and then cook it for 4 minutes. So till the time this is cooking, we'll just clear up and then I'll let you know what to do next. Don't go anywhere, keep watching Indus Cuisine. So now as you can see that the tomatoes have become really soft, I'll just press them down like this, convert them into a nice fine mash and start mixing them. As you can see, the texture is beautiful. We shall just add a little bit of turmeric now, which I had kept for the end. I'll just place it on top and I'll start mixing it. This is done, it's nicely cooked. Give it a lid and let it cook for, let's say, around 2 minutes. Till the time this is cooking, what we'll do is we'll pick up some fresh mint. I shall chop it, take the sticks out, but I shall use the upper part of the sticks. Why? Because I shall finely chop it for this recipe. It's just going everywhere. I'll just bring it to the center and I'll start chopping it. Turn it around and go really, really close. You want it to be converted into this nice, wonderful, beautiful mashed texture. This is done. Pick the lid up, mix it up. And now add the mint leaves on top. Give it a lid and just let it cook on really, really low heat. So now I shall just show you the final look of this recipe. Don't go anywhere, keep watching Indus Cuisine. So as you can see, today's recipe is ready. It was very easy. It was very, you could say, easy in a way that if you follow the steps, it's not that difficult. This recipe hails from the province of Sindh. It's wonderful, it's delicious, and I hope you like it also. I'll see you in another episode of Indus Cuisine. If you have any queries or any questions, or if you want to request something you want to learn, you can always go on the Indus News YouTube official page, and you can go to the Indus Cuisine link, and you can go comment down there underneath my video. I'll see you in another episode of Indus Cuisine. Take care of yourself, lovely people. Bye-bye.